The House Democrats leading numerous investigations into the president added to their legal team today. The House Judiciary Committee announced the hiring of 2 top attorneys. In a statement, Chairman Jerry Nadler said the additions come at a critical time for our nation, adding that the lawyers will look to restore accountability, safeguard our democracy, and protect the rule of law. Let's bring in Rebecca Kaplan. She's a Capitol Hill producer for CBS News. Rebecca, thanks for joining us. I know you've been following this story. What do we know about these 2 new hires?
Well, Elaine, these are 2 high-power, high-wattage attorneys, one from Washington and one from New York, who are getting ready to spearhead a more aggressive oversight into the administration. And they bring in expertise in public corruption and ethics. So Norm Eisen, who's the D.C.-based lawyer, he helped found the Center for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington and was a former ethics attorney in the Obama White House. And Barry Burke, an attorney in New York, specializes in white-collar criminal defense. And both of them are going to be helping the committee look at their oversight agenda, start doing more aggressive investigations into the Trump administration. And these aren't 2 fans of the president. They have co-authored a few op-eds highlighting his legal troubles and those of his associates. They co-authored a Brookings report last year, and in that report they concluded that they believe the president has obstructed justice and that the evidence has only kept mounting over the last several months. So these are definitely an indication that the Judiciary Committee is ready to step up more aggressive action looking at the Trump administration.
Yeah, can you elaborate? I mean, what's the significance of the timing of these hires?
Sure. Well, as we saw, people expected things to begin the minute Democrats won back the House in November. It did take a few months for these committees to get formed, and all of the members have just been seated. We actually just saw the Judiciary Committee hold their first few hearings, and they brought in one of the first hearings. They brought in Acting Attorney General Whitaker to testify before the committee, where they had a lot of questions about his involvement with the Mueller investigation. But this is a sign that they're looking more specifically at their oversight agenda into the administration. They're going to be looking at issues like ethics problems within the administration's potential violations of the Emoluments Clause. They'll be looking at broad issues of obstruction of justice, ranging from specific incidents like the president firing FBI Director James Comey to just bigger questions of whether there has been any obstruction by this administration. So bringing in these 2 people shows an enhanced focus on oversight, which Chairman Nadler says has been sorely lacking by Republicans for the last 2 years.
And what else does their hiring indicate about future plans for this committee?
Well, obviously, the first thought that anyone has hearing these 2 names and their specialties and what they've written is the committee's getting ready to impeach the president. That's not the case. A committee aide was very specific that these 2 people who are being brought in as special oversight counsels on a contractor basis are not being brought in to lead impeachment investigations for the administration. And in fact, Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, has been very cautious about what he has said about impeachment. Let's take a listen to what he told CBS This Morning back in January.
Well, impeachment is designed as a defense of the republic against a president who would aggrandize power, destroy liberty, destroy democratic institutions, destroy the separation of powers. If that happens, if you get real evidence of that, then you have to consider impeachment hearings. But we will wait and see.
So as you hear, Nadler is saying they're not ready to jump right into impeachment. There's still a lot of investigation that needs to be done. And he's not saying that anything that these 2 attorneys find in their investigations and in their oversight and these documents they're going to be requesting and hearings they'll be laying out, none of that necessarily means impeachment is on the other end. But the committee is certainly not ruling out that whatever they discover in this process of doing more oversight could eventually be used as evidence if the House ever does move to impeachment.
Well, finally, what political blowback has there been, if any, in regards to these additions?
Well, there actually hasn't been a ton of response, and as you know, there's been a lot of news today up on Capitol Hill. There's budget negotiations going on to help avert a government shutdown at the end of the week. The president was in El Paso last night, but we did hear from the ranking member, the top Republican on the Judiciary Committee, Doug Collins, and his response was really to say this is the Democrats moving towards impeachment. This is an issue that would fire up the president's base and get them excited to protect him. So Republicans are happy for the audience, for people out in America to think that Democrats are running right towards impeachment because they think that that will make it look like there has been overreach by the Democrats now that they have control of the House of Representatives.
All right, Rebecca Kaplan for us. Rebecca, thanks very much.
Thanks, Elaine.